Do I look fat?
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Do I Look Fat podcast. This week, my guest is a Cali native, a certified baddie, and someone who thinks every day is brunch, Chef Eryne. Hey love, how are you?
What's up, Stephy? How are you doing? I'm so glad to be here. So thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming. So you are my first chef.
Yay!
Which is amazing because we talk about food all the time, and I'm so happy to have finally a chef on to give us some tips and tricks and all of that stuff.
Yes, girl.
How are you, though? How's everything going with you?
Everything is good. I am building my brand, and it's always exciting in the very beginning steps, but it's also very intimidating because you're building from the ground up. You're switching directions, whereas I always kind of knew that I wanted to build my brand and have my own business and do all of that, but I just didn't know how I wanted to do it or when I was going to do it. And there's no better time than COVID shutting all that shit down to be like, all right, it's definitely time for you to go out on your own, because at the end of the day, you're just another number in the corporate world, and there's always somebody that can replace your position. And it's time for me to really build my foundation and do what I really love. And what I really love doing is cooking and providing an experience for people. So
yeah, that's amazing. I feel like a lot of people have definitely zoned in on their purpose.
Yes,
during COVID.
Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of people haven't, but I feel like I've surrounded myself with people who have, and that's a blessing.
Yes.
In the midst of all the bullshit that's gone on. But we're definitely going to talk about your brand more a little bit later in the show.
Definitely.
Yes. First, I wanted to do a little quick icebreaker catch up.
Okay.
So it's a would you rather game.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right. So the first question is, I want you to answer the question and why you choose that answer. Okay. All right. So would you rather only be allowed to drink beer or coffee?
Oh my gosh, you gave me two bad choices. Definitely beer. First off, I want to say I hate the smell, the taste, everything of coffee. So I would rather die. Beer, I'm going to just choose that because there are some really good beers out there, especially like some artisanal type beers that I'm like, okay, I could deal with, that don't necessarily give you that like bloat that everybody be getting, that beer belly. So I feel like I would definitely go with beer, especially a good red stripe, but ice cold red stripe from the Jamaica. I'm about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like beer or coffee, so when I read that, I was just like, "Oh my god! Like, how? Why are you giving me these two options?" But it's true. There is a Belgian beer that I used to drink. Duvel.
That sounds really familiar.
So it's like a sparkly beer.
Ooh,
like it's yeah, and it's a pale ale, so it's not that strong as far as like flavor. So I wouldn't mind that. I don't know how much I could actually drink of it, but I'm not a coffee drinker. I'll go to like Starbucks or Dunkin' and stuff like that. But it's like I need the sugary vanilla sweetener, and it has to be a latte. So there's definitely more like milk in it than coffee. Like, I don't even have a coffee maker, bro.
Girl, I definitely don't. And when I go into Starbucks, the only two drinks that I get are a passion tea lemonade or an iced vanilla chai. You will never catch me having any form of coffee. Like, I'd rather starve or be dehydrated.
The Starbucks lemonades are fire, though.
Bro, fire. And then like adding the flavored sweeteners that they have. When they have peach, girl, will set that lemonade off. Yo.
So good. So good. Okay. So question number 2.
Okay.
Would you rather never eat cheese or chocolate again?
Never eat chocolate again. Girl,
that was easy.
But, okay, depending on what kind of chocolate. Because if we're doing the candy chocolate, definitely, I'm not a huge chocolate fan anyway. So for me, that's like really easy. Like I could definitely live without chocolate. But if we talking about a good chocolate, man, girl, I may not have. I can't.
That's not. Listen, we're not choosing. Like, he's not on there. We're gonna have him anyway.
We're gonna have him anyway. Definitely,
he's the exception. Okay,
definitely.
I'm a big cheese eater too. Like, I love.
I
cheese.
snack on cheese like nobody's business. It's ridiculous.
And not just like the little sticks or whatever. Like,
no.
I'll get a block of cheese, whatever
All
it is.
that.
And if I'm just like, I want some, I'll buy, okay, so I know like the cheese sticks, the palio or whatever, the mozzarella. I don't got time for that. No. That's a lot of money for a lot of gimmicks. I literally buy the block of cheese, and I'll be there slicing my little pieces of cheese. I don't even care.
Girl,
it's so fucking good.
I love it. And I'm also like really bougie when it comes to cheese. So I really will go to the deli to like have like different types of sliced cheese just to snack on. And then the store over by my house, bro, when I tell you that they have all different types of cheese, like already sliced, like they already know I'm coming in here to grab it. Man,
cheese is the reason why I couldn't go vegan. Like,
dead
I just
ass.
can't.
Dead ass. I couldn't, like, I love vegan food, but I gotta give a cheat, bro. You can save that.
I need cheese.
I'm good.
Italian food is my favorite food. Yes. So, like, I need cheese in my life. Like, I just need cheese. I cannot. Okay. Question number 3. Would you rather only be allowed to eat bread as a carbohydrate or only allowed to eat pasta?
Ooh, that's a good one. It'll probably have to be pasta. And I'm only saying that because I really love bread, but for some reason, as I've gotten older, I haven't been able to digest it the way I used to. I'm definitely not like, I don't have an intolerance towards it, but it's a little slow going down.
Yeah.
And pasta, girl, like, because I'll just love making homemade pasta. There's so many things to do with that.
And it's so easy.
It's so easy. People make it so complicated. And it's literally like 3 ingredients. People make it complicated. And I'm just like, nah, I'm trying to have all the fresh pasta, all the pasta in the world. Like,
pasta is fire. Now, I don't know if I can do without like my deli sandwiches or my chopped cheeses, but I definitely love my pasta, like I said. And plus, like, when it's just me eating alone, like, you know how easy it is to boil, like, a half a cup of pasta and chop some shit up and just put it in the...
And just make...
2 seconds.
And make a good little pasta dish for yourself and you good to go. Like, pasta is one of the easiest things, but people just really overthink it. That's really what it is. You know?
Yeah, and way easier than rice, for sure.
Bro, like, legit, I have a rice cooker. Like, I can make rice. I could definitely make rice, but I just don't want to deal with the issues of making rice. Like, I'm getting that rice cooker, throwing that in.
I need a rice cooker.
Set it and forget it.
I think if I had a rice cooker, I'd probably eat rice more often. I hate making rice. It's not that I, it's just like sometimes you might just put a little bit too much water or a little bit too little water. And it's just like, or the heat was on too high and it evaporated too fast. Like,
it's so much, it took me I remember in culinary school, I legit could not cook rice. I was always burning it. It was either burnt or it was mushy. And for the life of me, it took me really being like working in restaurants and my like chefs really like cussing me the fuck out, ready to like get me off the line and all that for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and learn how to cook this rice. Let me not be, I don't want rice haunting me in my dreams, because it definitely did for a couple of days.
Right. Okay, so this is gonna be the last one, and I think this is gonna be a good one.
Okay.
Would you rather never be allowed cheese on your burgers or pizza ever again?
Bro, I'm going to have to go with cheese on the burgers, because what is pizza without cheese?
It's just, I don't even know.
It's just bread and sauce. And I honestly hate tomato sauce. The only time I really eat it is on pizza. I don't know what it is. I love tomatoes, but for some reason, I've really just been like, I'm straight on tomato sauce. But I definitely need that cheese on the pizza, because...
What's pizza without... It's not even pizza anymore without cheese. Like, girl, you know how they have those cute little pizzas where it's like they sprinkle the mozzarella on it? And I'm just like, I'm sorry, listen.
No.
I need the cheese to pull.
Okay? Like pull. I need it to be... I got to wrap it around my finger a couple of times. You feel me? Like, I need to enjoy the cheesiness. And everybody's always just like, you're so OD when you do cheese. So what? Like, you're not about that cheese life.
And it's delicious.
Exactly,
like,
girl.
And I'm from New York, so like, this may be a hot take, but we have the best pizza, so I don't even want to hear it.
Look, I'm still mad that I have not really been in New York yet. Like,
oh man,
I really want to go, but I'm just like, do I want to do a solo trip or like? And I know people from New York, and it's just like, get your ass out to New York before like you move, because then you're gonna be mad that it was only like now it's like a 5-hour drive, like 6-hour drive. But when I was in Philly, girl, it was like 2.5 hours, and I was tripping. Didn't even take advantage.
Yeah, Philly is definitely right there. Like, you were definitely bugging for not coming up here.
And
it's like now you have to wait for the weather to warm up, because ain't shit to do out here now.
Girl, and then with everything shutting down all over again, it's just like, well, 2021, summer-ish, maybe, I'll catch a flight.
Right, yeah. I mean, if you definitely should experience New York. I'm always telling people don't bother, but if you've never been here before, I think you should experience it at least once.
That's how I feel about California. I feel like, especially LA, I'm just like,
I'm dying to go to Cali. You have no idea. Like, I am dying. I'm trying to get a Cali boo. Like,
girl,
yo.
These niggas ain't shit out there.
But that's how I feel about New York.
Oh my
shit
God. They ain't shit out there. But no, it's like LA, like, I guess because like New York has like LA dudes, like New York, like you got these specific New York dudes that you're like, nah. Like LA is like, you gotta bob and weave, like you gotta figure out the intricacies of what type of trash they're trying to give you, the lingo they're trying to speak. Like, it's a whole Tetris game.
So I kind of met this guy virtually. Okay. And he lives in Vegas now, but he's from like Long Beach. And I don't know nothing about nothing, right? Okay. Yeah, and he kind of looks like YG a little bit, right?
He ain't shit.
He probably ain't shit. But I'm just so like, oh, he's cute though. Like, he's so different. And it's funny because before he even told me he was from the West Coast, before we even talked, like I looked at his picture, I was like, this man is definitely from like Cali or
you could just
like, because he looks like YG. Yo, like, it was.
I bet you his fit was like so West Coast. Like, probably the way he was standing, all of that was just getting off
like,
the LA vibes.
I just knew he wasn't from the East Coast. Like, I could just tell off that. And I was just like, oh, he's kind of cute, little West Coast thing. Okay. So I don't know.
If he's trying to catch flight, if he paying for the flight, first off,
listen.
Look,
he better. Okay?
Go ahead and get flued out real quick.
I'm trying to get flued out to Cali.
Yes, girl. That's how you know it's real. When you all the way on the other side of the coast, like, oh, baby, you trying to fight me out? Bad. You gonna get it all.
Right.
All right, I got
For
you.
Sure. All right, so we're gonna get into our first segment, and it's called Eat Your Heart Out, where we talk about like diet plans, diet trends, just give tips and tricks about all of that. Today, I actually want to talk about meal planning and planning, whether it's, for the week, for the month, or whatever have you, and getting back into it after not doing it for a long time. So I was big on meal planning a couple of years back, and I'm not even going to hold you. I lost a lot of weight and maintained my weight loss when I was meal planning. But girl, I don't know what happened. Now I don't want to be eating leftovers. I didn't even eat the Thanksgiving leftovers in my fridge. Like,
no, it's all about the leftovers.
Oh my God, I think I'm just over it. And I need to like retrain my brain because like there's nothing wrong with leftovers as long as they're stored properly.
Absolutely.
But like I'll just see them. And I guess when you pull them out the fridge, it's like they be cold food.
Right, they be
like,
looking a little funny. I feel it.
So I got to get back into it. So I found a couple of tips, and the first one is to start small. If you have never created a meal plan or are getting back into it after a long time, it may feel a bit daunting. Developing a meal planning habit is no different than making any other positive change in your life. Starting small and slowly building confidence is a great way to sustain it.
Yes.
So when it comes to meal planning, what would you say is the best thing to look out for?
First off, you have to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you feel me? You are just going to drive yourself crazy because you're going to be spending a lot of money. You are not going to really realize how long it may take to cook certain things. And just how daunting it can feel when you feel, because a lot of people are prepping like 5 to 7 days, and for me, that's actually too long. I like to prep at least like 2 to 3 days at a time, just because I'm real big on variety. Some people just don't have the time to just be doing variety, or they don't necessarily have that kind of skill in cooking to do variety. So when you're starting out, you really have to plan and strategize first before just going to the store. And then don't go to the store hungry, because you're going to be all over the place, looking for things that don't necessarily have to do with the diet or the way of training that you're trying to do. And so definitely would say that. But I feel like outside of planning, just having confidence is what you really have to look out for, because it's such a big task, when you're getting your containers together, when you're trying to strategize on what it is that you want to cook, when you're actually doing the cooking, the cleanup is a lot, and if you don't feel like you have everything under control, in a sense, or you feel like you can do this and you can do it consistently, that's the biggest thing, is that for a lot of people, they're like, oh, hell no, like I can't do meal prep for a whole week. I can't do this, for a whole month or a couple months to sustain or to aid in, whatever type of goals that they have. And so you have to find, like you said, you have to start off small. Once you start going small and you start completing those tasks, then you feel confident enough to take on more, which creates the consistency that you need to stay on top of it. Because look, there are days where I'm just like, no, I don't want to do it. Like, it's too much,
it can be a lot.
It's just a lot, and then having to, like you say, retrain your mind and keep it trained and stay motivated to meal prep, because for a lot of us, that will make or break, our weight loss or our weight gain, whatever it is that our goal is, because we aren't staying consistent in what we're eating at the end of the day.
I think so when I was doing the meal prepping, I like deleted all of the like ordering apps.
Me too.
From my phone. Me too. Because let me tell you something, even if it was already done in my fridge and all I had to do was take it out and pop it in the microwave, I was still like, I would rather order something from like Grubhub.
All of it. It was ridiculous the way like my mind really started running like that. And I was just like, okay, DoorDash, okay, Grubhub, okay, Uber Eats. Y'all gotta go, because I will quickly in a second spend $25.
And it's always $25.
Always.
Like, why can't I get one meal for $12? Like, why?
I don't understand
it. If I go to and I'm in New York, right? So all I have to do is really walk to the Chinese food restaurant down the block, right? And I can get something for like $9.95. But once I order on Grubhub, it's $17. And I'm just like...
And then you got to tip, because like we're really in a pandemic and people really need to get tipped. And it's just like, bro, like I'm at $25, almost $30 for a meal that was like $10. This is crazy. So
it's so ridiculous, and yet we still do it, and that's the problem. Like, I just don't understand. But one day I'm gonna get my life together.
Girl,
I swear.
Same, because I'm just at that point where I felt like I've been like freely doing too much with eating, and now I need to pull in the reins a little bit and really get back to just meal prepping, because one, it saved my wallet a whole bunch of money. I've been spending money on going out to eat and delivery service like I'm a millionaire. Like, I'm a millionaire, and I just got money to just be spending. So, absolutely, we got to get back. We have to.
Yeah, for sure. One of the other tips is to keep a well-stocked pantry.
Oh, yes.
What would be some of like the basics or like the essentials you would say that you would keep in your pantry if you wanted a meal prep?
Okay, so definitely, I feel like you have to have the specific, like, you have to have snacks. I know everybody isn't a snacker, but what it does is it helps with the hunger pangs, because your body, you're retraining your body. So how you used to eat is not how you necessarily eat when you're meal prepping. And so just having those healthy available snacks that are your go-tos, having that in the pantry and in the fridge, definitely having your go-to seasonings. Because when you're in,
you want everything to taste good,
girl. Yes. And people don't know how to season. And it's just like, I need to have, my, like, for me, my go-tos are salt, pepper, and granulated garlic. Like, I feel like everything has to have all three of those things on it,
Right,
and
for sure.
that way I can control a whole lot more. I'm not doing extra. I'm not putting all these sauces and everything on it to build up the calories. And then it's too much. It's a regular meal. It's not even meal prepping anymore.
Right.
Let me see. I feel for me, so when I meal prep, I normally will go into having like a keto pantry. It helps for me just because carbs and sugar are like my nightmare.
The devil.
They're the devil, and so I literally made sure I had zero of any of it because it just creates distractions for me. So me having like my specific like flours that I needed, like say for instance, if I wanted to have like some cookies, and instead of me going to go buy cookies, I make it like a keto way. So having those specific ingredients, definitely having carbonated water. So that carbonated, like I haven't drank soda in years, but I realized for me that when I start meal prepping, that I start craving sugar a lot more.
Right.
And so in order to curb that, I'll have like carbonated flavored water, and it just, it kills all of that because I feel like I'm drinking soda, and then my mind is being tricked as if I got real sugar going on. And it's literally, that's always a go-to for me. Also cheese.
Cheese is just, it's a lifesaver. I'm telling you.
It's a lifesaver. And then I also had, I'm going to do the fridge and the pantry. I would definitely have go-to like meal kits. So like say for instance, if I didn't have time to meal prep, like I'd have like a little salad in the bag or something like that, if I'm working too long and I just don't want to cook, like I could just break out a salad really quick, or have, the grocery store now has a lot of frozen healthy meals that are really within, people's particular diets and likes. And so just having a couple of those just stocked just in case. Girl, just in case. Because it be those days where you stressed out and you want a burger, you want a slice of pizza, and it's like, no, let me go heat this up really quick. So
right.
For me,
that's actually smart.
Yeah. So for me, those are my essentials that I would normally go to with the pantry and the fridge, because that's really what helps me. Oh, one big thing I'm really, really big on is having like nuts. So like nuts that are like in a snack pack. So those actually help me when I'm like starving as well. That just having those on the go, grab and go kind of things that you could put in your backpack or your purse. Those just help with not only, like getting protein, the extra fat that you may need, but just kind of like taking your mind off the fact that you want to have like a full like grown man meal. So
yeah. No, seriously. I'm not big on like nuts. Like I'll eat like peanuts and stuff, but I get tired of them after a while. Like I really get tired. What I like to do is sometimes I'll take like a dry cereal and put them in like little Ziploc bags. Yep. So I'll have like a little snack pack of those. Okay. So I grew up eating Kix. And Kix isn't that bad.
Did like I feel like that was a treat for me. Like shredded wheat, it was my go-to with shredded wheat. Like that's on some old people shit. Like shredded wheat.
Not shredded wheat. I don't even think I've ever eaten shredded wheat. Like it's just wheat. And my son loves he likes the frosted one, like the frosted mini wheats or whatever.
Yes, definitely. That was a part of the whole rotation, was the regular and then the frosted, and then I would add a little bit of extra sugar on it.
I look at him eating it and I'm just like, that looks like straw. Like,
girl, it's so fire. Like I can't believe as an adult I still like once in a blue moon go get some mini wheats and just snack on them as if I'm a child again.
That is hilarious. Yes. But Kix are actually sweet, and they don't have that much sugar or that many calories.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I love Kix. Like, and it's like, I don't like them with milk. I'm not a big milk drinker. Like cow's milk, it's not for me. As much as I love cheese,
girl,
I cannot drink
but
milk.
I will down some almond milk in a quick second.
Do you drink it like alone? Like
definitely
a glass
not.
of almond
Girl,
milk?
Definitely not.
Oh, okay.
Definitely. I just don't, honestly, and this is probably going to sound weird, I just don't like how milk or like any type of like liquid like that is how it feels in my mouth. It's
like phlegm.
Exactly.
It's like phlegm. That's every time I see milk being okay. So
girl, I feel gross.
This is like a trigger warning. Okay, this is definitely a trigger warning. But like when you see like people drinking milk in like a glass and they put it down and it like you see the film,
yeah, like on top of it, girl. It is so disgusting. And so I'm like. I'm good.
No, seriously.
I'm good.
So I never liked milk. And people always used to come for me back in the days talking about, oh, you need to drink your milk. You need the calcium, blah, blah, blah. Now everybody is against milk and milk is terrible. And I've been on that wave since I was like 7 years old.
Milk alternatives now because ain't nobody got time for regular milk. And it's crazy because even as a kid, when I would have cereal, I'd have like all this milk in a bowl and definitely pour it down the sink.
For sure. Milk was only meant to like wet cereal.
It coated. Exactly. That's it. Other than that, like, no, I'm good.
Unless it was a chocolate cereal.
Oh, no.
Like, but you don't really like chocolate like that. So let me tell you. So my favorite cereal, well, not my favorite, but I really enjoy chocolate cereal. So once in a while, like I'll just buy like a box of Cocoa Pebbles, and I'm just yes, I'm so excited, and it'll literally be like my dinner one day, and I get so hyped. It's terrible, and I'm such a kid sometimes, but. But I do it now with like a cashew milk, like a sweetened cashew milk.
A sweetened girl, almond and cashew.
So good.
Ooh.
Girl, I love cashew milk over almond milk because it's a little bit creamier.
Yeah, it is. And it does have that, for me, it has that texture of heavy cream. And I really like heavy cream. So.
Yeah, for sure. I'm big on the cashew milk.
Yes.
And the milk alternatives for sure. I'm always trying the new ones. Girl. Have you ever tried pea milk?
No, and I've been hearing about it. And I'm just like...
I haven't tried it either. I just hate saying it because it's like pea milk.
And I haven't... People have been on that goat milk wave too and the oat milk too. And I'm like...
I don't know if I could do the goat milk because that's just like cow milk and it's like...
That's like
I don't want to do that. But oat milk would be kind of interesting.
Yes, I feel like I just want to kind of try it just to see because when I tell you I have a bougie grocery store right next to me and it's like 10 different types of milk alternatives and I'm like, where did all these come from?
Who knows? But I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it.
Definitely.
Another tip was to plan for and repurpose your leftovers, which we just talked about. I hate leftovers. But I think that's smart because like if you're I like to make these like fake Chipotle bowls. So I'll take like a little bit of brown rice, a little bit of ground meat, cheese, sour cream, and I'll just nuke that in the microwave, mix it all up, and I love that shit. Because I love messy food.
Girl,
like,
me too.
Don't ever ask to see a picture of my food because it's probably not gonna look appetizing. But let me tell you,
I like mixing it all
this
up.
shit slaps.
I'm like mixing it. Let me tell you, like, I'm not gonna hold you for Thanksgiving. My main go-tos like for Christmas or and Thanksgiving are stuffing, mac and cheese, and gravy. Let all that in a bowl, like all mixed together. Yo, that's straight fire. Can't nobody tell me nothing else. So I totally feel you like about the messy food.
Yes. Before COVID, there's this bar not far from me, and they have like I guess they're called like disco fries or something like that. But it's French fries, and then it has like some type of like sausage or something, and then gravy on top.
Oh, fire!
Anything with a gravy, like, and it's terrible, but I love messy food. Like, and I'm literally the one when I go to Chipotle, like people be eating their bowl all neat. No,
I'm diving in all of that hand motion and everything. I'm not about to be sitting here eating dainty food like that. Like a burrito is meant to be messy. Period.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Like everything has to be mixed together. They're all in the recipe for a reason. They all complement each other. I want it all in my mouth at the same time.
And it's going down the same pipe. So what are y'all tripping about separating and eating, girl?
But you know what's funny? When I was younger, and I still do this now, kind of. So like if I have something like French fries and a burger or like chicken tenders or like fast food, I usually eat all my French fries first.
I don't understand it. I don't understand. I'll be so mad. Like by the time I get to my burger, like I have no fries left. I definitely don't get why I go to the fries first. It's so weird.
And I eat them all of them. And it's just like, girl, now I have this burger over here. I kind of don't even want it anymore. I just stuffed my face with all these fries, but burger's really a little cold and shit.
Like, girl, it's really totally about the fries. Low key.
It really is. Let's see. Another tip was to freeze your foods. So you want to cook large batches and then freeze your food. And I'm not going to hold you. That kind of disgusts me a little bit. I hate
I don't do it.
Defrosting food.
I will, like, I've had clients in the past where, like, I tell them to do that because they just have such a busy schedule and it helps hold the food. But me personally, everything is in the fridge. And that's why I only cook 2 to 3 days at a time, because I want it to be as fresh as possible.
Yeah. I have this friend I used to work with, and she literally would make food and right away put it in the freezer. Like on Thanksgiving Day or whatever, she would put it in the freezer so that in a month or whatever, she could just take it out and defrost it. And I'm not going to lie, like, I would see her food and I'm like, if she wouldn't have told me that it was in the freezer, it would have been fine. But the fact that I knew that there was probably like those little ice particles on it, like that, just I can't do it. I literally cannot.
Girl, I know exactly what you're talking about. And then freezer burn is real. So people be really trying to still eat food that is freezer, but like, bro, do you not see all these ice particles that have cultivated on this piece of steak?
So let me tell you, what is freezer burn exactly? Like,
so freezer burn pretty much is where the protein, there's really no like nutritional value. There's no proteins. Everything is pretty much like died out of it. So that's what starts to turn it. Like, you will see meat is like the easiest to freezer burn because it's only meant to, it only has a shelf life for so many days. And so once you go outside of that shelf life, it's like the ice particles and everything is really trying to feed on something that's not really there, you know? And so that's how you get the freezer burn. And then like the smell of it, you know, it just, the longer you have it in the freezer, the longer not the longer, but the worse the smell gets. And it's just not a good look. People be really thinking that they can just thaw it out and it's like good to go. No, bro. If you have anything in your freezer, and this is a PSA announcement, and it has freezer burn on it, it's starting to turn dark brown and whatnot, throw that baby away. It's just time to let it go.
It's not it's not good.
It's time.
It's okay to let it go. Definitely. Other tips were to pre-portion your meals, wash and prep your fruits and vegetables right away. Use your slow or pressure cooker. I have a pressure cooker, or not a pressure cooker, a crock pot. Okay. Is that the same thing?
They're two different things.
Okay. Girl, I don't know. Clearly I don't use it. I think I used it like once to make like a I saw a recipe, and this is why I bought it, specifically for this one recipe. It was to make like pork shoulder in there, like, so you would just like slow cook it in there. I didn't like it. I was like, for all of that, I'll put it in the oven. Girl, like, it takes the same amount of time.
It does.
Like,
really, I feel like crock pots are meant for people that like have busy lives and that like leave and be gone all day, and they come back and their food is done. Other than that, you might as well get something like an Instapot. That's a pressure cooker. That's for, you know, if you can make meals in like 20, 30 minutes. I actually use the Instapot and I kind of want to get one for myself now. I already got too many appliances, but yeah, and the Instapot definitely works wonders, especially for people who meal prep. People who are trying to like live a healthier lifestyle. You know, there's so many different settings that you can use to cook it, whether it's kind of like grilling or sauteing or, you know, like any of that. And it just instantly cooks your food. That pressurized cooking life is something vicious.
Okay, so let me ask you your opinion on air fryers. How do you feel about those? Because that's like the new wave now. I saw it compared to like air fryers are the George Foreman girls of 2020.
I am not going to hold you. Like in the very beginning when air fryers first started coming out, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean an air fryer? Like, if you're going to fry your food, you're going to fry your food. And then I tried one. I was like, okay, like, I could see why people, you know, they still want to have that fried food, like, type of feel to it, you know, but me personally, I'm just
It ain't
for me. For some people, yeah, like they can do all of that. I understand the science behind it, so I get it. But no, if I'm gonna have fried food, I'm gonna have fried food.
I tried making French fries in the air fryer. I don't like them.
Yeah,
like it's just not the same.
It isn't.
My son, he only eats French fries, and he does not like them in the air fryer, like at all. So I have to sit here and chop potatoes and actually fry them. Girl, whatever.
But it's so bomb, isn't it, bomb? No.
I mean, it's better than the air fryer. I'm not gonna lie, it's way better than the air fryer. Chicken in the air fryer is pretty good.
And that's the only thing. But I'm just like, yeah. I don't really know.
So I was listening to this podcast one day, and there was this girl, I don't remember who it was, but she was talking about how like we have to be careful with air fryers because the way that it fries your food or whatever, like it does something to the molecules of the food, and we don't know what it's actually doing. And she was just like, I don't know if she was for real and if she actually did her research. But it kind of scared me because I'm like, I put all my son's chicken in the air fryer. Like, is he gonna be fucked up like in 20 years?
I mean, that's kind of like the same wave that people are on with microwaves,
right? So yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Depending on where you lie and how, strongly you feel about microwaves, could be the same thing for an air fryer.
That's a fact. And microwaves are like such a staple like in kitchens now. Like it's like you get a house, sometimes houses come with microwaves like built in. So it's like you need a refrigerator, you need a microwave.
And you want to know, I don't know what's crazy is when I was in culinary school, like microwaves were the devil. Like we didn't do microwaves, and then working in kitchens, you don't have a microwave. Like if you got to reheat something, you're making it fresh or you're putting it in the oven. And so for like 4, almost 5 years, I did not have a microwave. I didn't use one, any of that, until I moved into an apartment that had one. And I'm like, oh, I kind of miss having a microwave to instantly heat food up. But for a long time, oven all day. And then I have to wait.
Because it takes a minute. Girl. Like, preheating my oven is why is it taking so long? Like, doesn't it just get hot?
And then I be cheating and don't be waiting a full time for it to preheat. So I'm already having it in there, like, after, 5 minutes. Just all impatient. Because I need my food.
No patience. And you know what? In this day and age, we need, instant gratification. And that's what, all of that, stems from. The air fryer, the microwave, the Instapot, all of that. It's like, we don't have time. No time for anything.
Girl, it's crazy. And it's just going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
If you had to build a meal planning day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, what would you make?
Okay, so for breakfast, I would definitely go to boiled eggs and probably a smoothie. I feel, and I'll say that because I'm a huge breakfast connoisseur, huge, as in my brand. And I just feel like if you're going to eat breakfast, you're going to really eat breakfast. You can't be on yes, you got to have healthy breakfast, but I want a fattening breakfast kind of thing. So, I'm going to just stick to some eggs, 2 eggs and a really good date smoothie or something like that. For lunch, meal prep wise, I'm going to go to a rice bowl or so something that has brown rice, that has maybe 2 or 3 veggies, some Brussels sprouts and some broccoli. Cherry tomatoes. I am a huge fish person, so I'll always have a piece of salmon on there with a dressing that I probably made from either a quick dressing I made from scratch or, one of the healthier versions of dressings and whatnot. Definitely have to have avocado on there. That I need avocado at every meal.
Avocado's God, first of all.
Let me tell you, those are facts. Let me tell you that. Yes, absolutely. People are so weird when they're like, I don't like the taste of avocado. Something's wrong with you. You were born when you fell on your head as a child for you to even say things like that. And then for dinner, my go-to or meal prep wise would probably be Dang, that's a hard one because sometimes I go back and forth with things. It will probably be something that has like another variation of a bowl, I think. I would do like just without the rice, but more like heavier on the protein. So I'd probably get like some steak, some like chickpeas or something. Definitely have more avocado and just like really build on like sweet potatoes. Those are really filling. So I would like roast some huge sweet potato chunks and just kill that, you know, because by then I'm not really as hungry because I'm tired. Like, you know, then I stop eating by 7. So,
right,
you know, like you're eating a whole lot lighter. And honestly, when I don't feel like doing nothing, those 3 things are like my go-tos, and I'll just rock with that for a couple of days.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You know, meal planning is just so it can be so versatile, and you can have a lot of fun with it.
Definitely.
Like I learned a lot of recipes while meal planning.
Yes.
Like when I first started doing it a couple of years back, and I was doing it every week, like I would take recipes that I grew up with, like, you know, like rice and peas and things like that, and I would make it with like brown rice, but I would have more pigeon peas and I would have rice, and like I would just try to make variables. So I would do that, and then I would do like a steak. It's, what is it? I can't even think of it, but it was like like a pepper steak kind of situation. But again, like I wouldn't use that much fatty things in it. Like I would try to eat the foods I like, but try to make them a little bit more you know, healthier. Plus I would control my portions. Definitely. So it's like you don't have to like eat the bro foods where it's just like you're eating grilled chicken or ground turkey and all of that shit. Like you can have the food you like, you just have to be a little bit more mindful of how you're preparing them and all of that. So
yeah, and it's moderation. And honestly, that's a really good tip for people who are like really like real beginners with meal prepping, is starting with things that you like and just substituting those things. So if you like, you know, having white rice, substitute it for brown rice. You know, if you like having fried chicken, substitute it for baked chicken or for grilled chicken. You know, those small types of things, you always want to start small enough to be in control. Then as you get confident, then you can start building on what it is, you know. I know for me, even with being a chef, sometimes like I would lose like my creative funk when it comes to meal prepping because I want to get extra and I want to just do all these things that I'm like, no, you got to bring it back. And Pinterest was always really good for me. So I was always
found great recipes on Pinterest.
Girl.
I made it was like pineapple fried rice one time. And I was like, okay, this is delicious. Did I ever do it again? No, because it took me forever and a day. Like, I was just over it. It was delicious, phenomenal. But it's like that one meal that I was prepping for the week, and I still had to make like 4 everything other dishes. Like I was just like, I can't do this no more. Like I got to keep it simple.
And then Pinterest will have you going into a rabbit hole. Like honestly, you'll be like, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this. I got to get these ingredients for this. So you got to be really mindful about how far that rabbit hole you are really trying to go down, because one meal, like you said, can take you a couple of hours and you're like, bro, I only have one meal for like 2 days. So what else am I gonna do?
What am I doing? And then that's it. And then I'm like, all right, well, whatever. I'm just gonna, sometimes I'll boil eggs in the morning and just be like, this is what I'm eating for breakfast because I make nothing else but this fried rice, and that's what I'm having for lunch. And I'll figure out dinner whenever that time comes. And that's kind of where you fuck up. But so I wanted to get into the next segment, which is Heart on My Sleeve. And it's where we get a little bit deeper about things that we've been through, things that we are going through, and how we've gotten through it and all of that. So I wanted to talk about finding new ways to repurpose your craft during quarantine.
That is a good one. That is a good one. So for me, I felt like my craft has always been cooking, but it kind of took a toll on me, you know, with COVID going on and you having to be in the house every single day and cook every single day. And so I have to go back to like my why. So why do I like to cook? Why is this calling me? Like, why do, and really start picking apart, well, why am I sick of cooking? Is it because I'm cooking the same things? I'm just not trying to be creative enough, or I'm not expanding my mind and getting new knowledge. So for me, it took buying all these different types of books that weren't necessarily cookbooks, and other avenues in the cooking industry, that helped me that really honestly helped me get back to my creative side and make me want to get back into cooking. So I really started getting into bartending a lot more and making mixed drinks and utilizing like food and fruits that kind of way to help to make these drinks, but also to help pair the drinks that I was making with the type of food. So that was a new avenue that I was going down, and that actually really helped me to get back into the passion that I knew that I always had. And then sometimes you just kind of need a break from it. Sometimes you feel like you're so overwhelmed by just your craft, by your gift, by your passion, and it starts to hurt. It's stressful, it's too much and it's overwhelming, that sometimes you just gotta like lay it on the table, be like, all right, if this is what God wanted for me, then I'm gonna go ahead and take this break. Let me chill, let me regroup, let me get my mind right, and then I'll come back. And for the most part, that actually works because you're refreshed, you have a new way of thinking, and then that's when the creative juices start flowing. And so those are definitely some things that worked for me, and then just being mindful of the fact that everybody is going through it. You're not the only one. So that pressure that we put on ourselves to be great at all times, to like keep doing, keep going, keep being better than what you were before every single second, every single minute of the day, that's exhausting. So having that grace with yourself, having that conversation with yourself, like, look, let me go ahead and just, like, some days you're going to be like, I don't want to do this. Some days you're going to be like, I love to do this. I want to do this. But you have to find that medium for yourself that you're comfortable with, because it's going to always change. And you always got to realize, like, okay, so I was up one day, I was down another. Like, how can I find a middle ground to just keep going on the days that I really don't want to? So
Right.
Definitely will help.
And I love that you said like taking a break. Like sometimes you have to be still.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And just like figure out what it is that you want to do and how you want to do it. So like before quarantine or before COVID, the end of last year, so it was like Halloween time, so October until like December, I was heavy on the makeup. Like last October, I participated in like 31 days of Halloween, and I posted a Halloween look every day for the month of October. And when I say like, it's not just like little looks. Like I was painting my face, painting my body.
Girl,
like,
you was doing
it was a lot. It was a lot, and I loved it. And then in November, I was like recruited to be in like a makeup show for December. So I was working on that all November. So it was a lot to do with like makeup and things like that. I started taking on clients more, and I had people like coming to the house. I have like a little studio, makeshift studio in my living room and all of that. And then COVID hit, and it's like, all of that is out the window. Like no one is coming into my house. Like, you know what I'm saying? And this Halloween, everyone was like looking for me to like do those makeup looks again. And I just, I couldn't do it. I literally could not. And I had to be really honest with myself and realize that like, listen, I don't want to do something just because people are looking for it and then not give my best that I know I could give. Because I know it would have been half-assed.
Girl, that's the thing. And so many of us are willing to do things for other people and not really for ourselves, that we just don't even put 100% effort into it. And then it's just like, all right, I mean, that's cool, but it ain't my greatest, and don't you want to feel great at everything that is that you do, not just because of what other people are saying? So
you have to feel the passion in it. And even though this is something you love and something you enjoy, sometimes that passion isn't there, and you have to feel it in order to really like put your best foot forward. And I like things to be done extremely organically, like extremely organically. I want to say, and I think I said this in a previous episode, like even with my guests, like whenever I book a guest, it's based off of like we've had some sort of communication, some sort of conversation, and, you know, things just come up and I'm like, you know what? Hey, like, I would love to have you on the show. Like, you know, like, I like to be able to bring people on who it can just flow and it doesn't feel forced. I'm really big on that. Really big on that.
Overall, like, just organic personality, relations, all of that. You know, when it's forced, it's just like you don't want to give your all. You don't want to really just, you're not excited about it. And there's nothing better than having like that real genuine excitement for just, you know, wanting to do a project, wanting to talk to people, wanting to just like get your goals accomplished. You gotta have that, definitely.
Right. So you've been a chef for a while, but now recently you just came out with your new brand and your new project. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay. So my brand is called Chef Eryne Private Brunch Services. So what that really is an exclusive brunch experience. So like I said, I've always been into brunch. I've always been into breakfast. I feel like I can eat breakfast 365 from morning, noon, and especially at night. And so I realized that just going to all of these different brunches, there was a vibe there, you know, but there was something about that experience that was missed from, you know, the service. And we all know how sometimes we just have trash servers, or it takes like an hour plus to get the food. And then the food is really not all of that, you know, and I felt like that was really what was missing. Everybody was trying to make this vibe happen with the brunch scene, but there was just, everything wasn't really clicking. And so for me, I feel like having an exclusive type of brunch where you're getting everything. So not only are you getting a chef that is making things from scratch, that are making dope options for you, things that you've never seen at brunch that you've kind of always wanted to try or have heard in the background, you know, like Nutella pancakes, you know, those kind of things. I wanted to be able to bring that along with being a mixologist and having curated specific drinks for the menu, and then having that vibe to go with it. So you're with your girls or you're with your guy friends, you know, like you're at a corporate setting, whatever type of event it is, or if it's an anniversary, you're going to get this exclusivity that you wouldn't necessarily get going to a restaurant, and it's catered towards your own wants. So whatever it is that you want, you know, you're going to get. So if you want a specific theme, I got you. You know, if you have a menu that you're looking at that I've created on my website, and you're looking at another menu and you kind of want to put those together, you know, I got you on that, because that's what it is. It's about that exclusive feel that you're going to get with brunch, but you're also going to have an experience. You're going to have all the dope vibes, and you're just going to have bomb ass food at the end of the day. Like you just want to have good food, you know? And so that's why I felt like that was something that was missing, but people didn't really know how to go about doing it, you know? And brunch is always big. A lot of people just feel like brunching is only for Saturdays and Sundays. No, brunching is for every day of the week, hence every day we brunch. You know, and you can have it in any type of setting that you want to have it in, you know, and that's the niche that I have decided to go down. And I just want it to be something dope for people to experience, something that's completely new, that's different from what they're used to when they go out to eat, and to really get that chef experience that you've always wanted, but you didn't necessarily get. And now you have that intimate time to be able to have that with me. So.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That really is amazing. Curating experiences is the new wave, right?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Especially now, like during COVID, everything is so personal.
Yes.
And everything is so like, you know, it's only intimate group settings. And I mean, for the most part, like there's places in America where they're just doing whatever they want.
Right.
Hence that kitchen place in Texas. Did you hear about that?
Oh, I sure did. I was like,
okay. Why are y'all all there to begin with? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but
girl.
But you want, you know, so you want these intimate settings.
Yes.
And when you have people who can actually curate not only a menu, but also the drinks, because that's important. Yes. Because I feel like every brunch I went to, okay, the food was all right, but all the drinks were mimosas or sangria.
Exactly. And on my menus, you don't see a mimosa in sight. You don't even see a sangria in sight. You see actual real chef curated drinks that I have like put blood, sweat, and tears in creating, and that's what I want to give you. Like my favorite one actually right now, shout out and RIP to Nipsey Hussle, but it's called a Nipsey Blue, and it's an actual blue drink. So it's really dope. It's actually something that I want to film and post on my stories. So that is coming up. And I just want to do creative, dope things with my drinks. I feel like there's more than just mimosas and sangrias. On top of the fact that there's nothing like getting day drunk. There's nothing like it.
Please. I miss getting day drunk.
I totally miss getting day drunk and then being done by 8. I'm good to
and in bed. Like, you know what it is to be out all day, have the time of your life, all of it. Maybe even, participate in a little sneaky link, all of that, and then be home by 10.
Yo, like, you good. You are good. I miss those. And that is what I'm like, that's what I'm really trying to bring back. You have everything you want. You have a private chef, you have the music, you have this curated experience that is totally Instagrammable, because we're all in that period where everything has to be photoed, all kind of photo ops, all of that, and then you're getting good food and you're satisfied, you're having fun, you're not worried about anything. It's in the privacy of your home, or it's in a particular space that you decide to have it in, and it's just dope vibes all the way around. And so that sounds amazing. I'm just ready to make that happen for you guys.
Make sure you check her out for sure. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna get into our last segment. Okay? And it's Are You Dead Ass? Because I have to ask this question all the time. So before I start my dead ass, I wanted to ask if there was anything you wanted to get off your chest.
I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know what has been going on lately, but I really cannot stand like loud eaters. So like and I've just been noticing it like a lot lately, people just don't have manners. So when it comes to, your mouth being open, you like smacking or like being extra as fuck when you're like tasting something. And it's just like, bro, like, you gonna eat it or not?
It's never that serious.
It's never that serious. You gonna close your mouth when you talk? Like, what's going on here? So that for me, I feel like, because it's been a reoccurring experience. I think just because I'm like really people watching at work right now, and I'm just like really noticing it, and it's just like, okay, that's really grinding my gears right now. Like, I need you to chill out.
Yeah, for sure. So that's annoying. That is annoying. So when I was pregnant, and it doesn't bother me that much now, but when I was pregnant, I used to hate when people would like hit their teeth on like their fork or their spoon.
Ooh, girl.
And I don't know what kind of super hearing I had, but I would hear it and I would just like cringe. Like, can you stop? Like, there's no reason for your utensil to hit your teeth.
Oh my goodness, I can only imagine. And then everything is heightened, and you definitely had supernatural hearing then to be able to hear all of that.
Did, because it was annoying. It drove me crazy. It doesn't bother me so much now, but every now and again, like, I'll hear it and I'm just like, can you not
doing too much? Girl, that's how I feel about people smacking.
Like, your teeth don't hurt?
That's how I feel about people smacking. I'm just like, who raised you to feel like that was okay to be doing that in public? Girl,
no home training. None. So my dead ass today is kind of about like Instagram, and the bullshit that's on there.
A lot of it.
I love Instagram. Like, don't get me wrong. I love to take pictures. Like, y'all see, I'm pretty active on it for the most part. But I had recently joined this app called Clubhouse, and I've spoken about this a couple of times because I have been obsessed with it. It's kind of sick. Like, I need to chill a little bit. Like, they need to cut me a check as much as I've spoken about it.
Yes, cut that check, Clubhouse.
Right. they ain't gonna cut the check. Like, everyone's talking about Clubhouse, girl. They're just gonna be like, okay, you're one of a million people. But there has been so much like support and like genuine, like, people fuck with you. People that you've never met a day in your life. And it's not about like competition, I feel like, on that app yet. Again, it is still very new.
Yeah.
It's invite only. So I think people are just very gracious to be on there. So they're just like, you know, down to network with anybody, down to help whomever, down to support, down to just like, you know, like, I've gotten so many tips and tricks on there, like about marketing and branding and all this stuff. And it's like things that on Instagram people are trying to charge you for all
Absolutely. Like, where's the check at? Can you just...
And it's like, okay. And it's so new that not that many people have a lot of followers yet, right? Like, everybody is essentially, it's not about the followership, like how it is on Instagram.
Okay.
Like, nobody gives a fuck if you have 20 followers or 2,000 followers, honestly, because it's just like everyone's just trying to get the bag on this thing. And you never know who's actually more influential. It doesn't matter about the likes.
Exactly. But who's behind the scenes, bro? Like, that's what's up.
It's so fire. And it's just like, I've been giving less and less of my energy to Instagram because I'm just like, I see the sneak dissing. I see the hate. I see like how sometimes people just want to be near you just to like, you know, like ride your own wave. And all of that is so corny to me. And I'm so over it. Like, I'm so beyond over it. So that's my dead ass. Like, I think Instagram really needs to humble itself, and everybody on there needs to do better, because at the end of the day, it is just an app. So,
girl, like, that's how I feel. And to be honest with you, I've actually never really liked social media like that. I feel like I've had to like really evolve and go with it. Like, even during MySpace, when everybody was changing their websites like every other day, girl.
The HTML code.
All of it. Yo, I legit was like maybe once every couple months. Like, I don't need all in my business like that. You know, with Facebook, I just don't understand that mentality. You know, and just how people, like you said, it's corny, be sneak dissing and talking shit instead of it being a community, you know, where you can learn and grow and have fun and just see some dope things. You know, it's gotten into this competition, and I totally feel you. That's why I'd be like, I'm MIA for a couple weeks, but you know, now having a business, you can't do that.
You have to
have a presence. So it's really just kind of finding that balance, you know, to not let that bullshit get to you and just to keep getting to the bag.
For sure. Because that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, how many bags do I have? Yes.
That is a fact. All right. So tell my listeners where they can find you, how they can book you, whatever have you.
Yes. So you guys, please follow me on Instagram at Chef Eryne. It's ChefEryne. And if you guys want to book me or get some more information, you can check out my website, which is cheferyne.com, or you can email me directly at erin@cheferyne.com. Can't wait to hear you guys. All of that. I'm ready to do some dope shit, cook some dope food, and y'all gotta check me out.
Love it. Love the branding too.
Yes.
Love it. All of your information will be linked down below so that my listeners can find you. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram _StephyKiss STEPHYKISS, and the podcast page is Do I Look Fat Pod, exactly how it sounds. Also, guys, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. That is so, so, so important. I actually, it's fire, and I'm going to, you know, brag a little bit right now. I charted #1 in the Bahamas. So people in the Bahamas are fucking with me. And I'm with it. Like, I'm going to go visit y'all because I'm all for the tropics, you know?
Okay.
So thank you to you guys over there, because I really, really, truly appreciate it. To be ranked #1, like, that's
what's
crazy.
up. That is what's up.
It's wild. I almost fainted. Like, when I saw it, I was like, #1 in the Bahamas. Like, y'all really like me.
Okay. Places, I see you, boo. I see you.
Right, for sure. So yeah, leave a review. Make sure you give me 5 stars, because that's always, you know, appreciated. Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Do I Look Fat podcast. And remember, new episode drops each and every Fine and Thick Friday. Take care, guys. Thank you. Bye.